Welcome to IdeaScale's webinar, exploring the new reporting tool. This is the beta version. I'm Cassandra, and I'll be your host today. Thank you so much for joining us. So we're excited to introduce you to IdeaScale's new reporting tool, a powerful upgrade designed to help you better track and measure innovation across your organization. If you're new to IdeaScale, we help organizations collect, evaluate, and implement great ideas. And robust reporting is key to showcasing those results. So joining me today are our product owners, Paul Vincent, who will walk us through a lab demo, and Reshma Patel, who will be sharing technical insights and answering your questions in real time. As I said before, feel free to drop all your questions in the box chat, and we'll cover as many as we can during the final 10 minutes. Ready? So let's get started. Paul, over to you.
Thank you, Cassandra, and welcome everyone. Thanks so much for joining. I'm really impressed with all the locations that everyone's from. I don't know that we had a single repeat. That's incredible. Well, we're really excited that you're joining us today. We're going to be exploring a significant enhancement in IdeaScale, like Cassandra said, our brand new powerful reporting tools. Before we dive in, I want to take a quick look at what we'll cover on today's webinar. After we get through the agenda, we're going to start today by looking into why we want to improve IdeaScale reporting at all. And then following that, we're going to discuss some of the benefits of the new tool. And then I'm going to go through and personally do a full feature overview and demo of the reporting tool for us so we can understand those benefits in action and just get a full feature rundown. Following that, it's a deep tool, so we're going to do some main takeaways and a quick recap of everything that you need to know from the demo. And then to close off the call, we're going to discuss our roadmap a little bit to see what we have coming up, and then do a Q&A session. So as we go, Cassandra mentioned this earlier, as we go, please drop any questions in the Q&A box. Reshma will be able to answer all your questions from there, and we'll get to as many as we can. And if we don't get to them all, we'll obviously follow up with additional information. Okay, let's jump right in. Also, before I start, if I pause really quick, I'm just getting over a cold, so I might have to cough once or twice, but I'm sure everyone's been there. Okay. So we can jump right in. Cassandra, if you want to go to the next slide. So why do we want to improve IdeaScale report? Well, we began this project with a simple, crucial question. How can we empower you, our users, with even better data? Strong reporting is essential for gaining insights into your community, and these insights are the foundation for improving your innovation processes and driving decisions around your community. So we want to make your ability to discover data as strong as possible. So with that question in mind, we focused on gathering customer feedback. That feedback led us to some simple conclusions about what's required for our reporting tool. Firstly, more control. Users want customizable date ranges and dynamic data sets to review their data. Additionally, we need clearer visuals. We need to be able to compare metrics across campaigns and groups easily. This information needs to be clearly reflected in a visually pleasing chart. And finally, deeper insights. We need to access new data sets for tracking usage, member growth, and engagement to sufficiently analyze progress in IdeaScale. So this feedback led us to tackle two core challenges in our tool. If you want to go to the next slide. Challenge one, how do we provide extensive customization while keeping our interface intuitive? And the second challenge is, how do we ensure that anyone, regardless of their technical skill, can generate and understand meaningful reports? These two challenges are really important, and as we proceed through the demo, these will be very relevant to the solution that we've created. So keep these in mind as we go forward. You can go to the next slide, Cassandra. Speaking of the solution that we've created, the result of our process is a reporting solution designed to transform how you understand and utilize your IdeaScale data. The main benefits of the project start with custom visualizations. You can create dashboards that tell your story with visually compelling charts. These charts are easily customizable and shareable to help create clear insight into your data. Another benefit is enhanced data accessibility. Our tool simplifies data accessibility, meaning that anyone, regardless of technical skill, will be able to easily put together a dashboard to analyze their community. And not only can they easily put one together, but the data they review on that dashboard can be really meaningful to help them make decisions. That's where we get to our next benefit, granular data analysis. You can get even more detailed with your analysis thanks to our precise timeframes, new data sets and data groupings, and a brand new filter system. Finally, I want to emphasize future-proof flexibility. Our architecture allows us to more easily adapt to your evolving needs, adding new data sets, filters, and chart types as we move forward. Future-proof flexibility is increasingly a priority for us in our product development, and that means we can create solutions that allow us to meet your changing needs. So now that we know a little bit why we targeted this project and the benefits of doing so, I'm going to take the screen and jump into a quick demo. Okay, Cassandra, if you don't mind me sharing my screen here. Okay, I'm assuming everyone can see this, and now please let me know if you can't. We're starting from just an IdeaScale community here. And in this demo, I'm going to walk through some of the key features in this new reporting project, and I'm going to show you how to extract the data that you need from our tool. So before we look at the new tool, I want to look at the legacy dashboard to do a quick comparison. So this is the reporting tool that all of our customers have been using so far. I'm going to open it up here, and this should be familiar to everyone. The legacy reporting tool, while helpful, can be very static and struggle to accommodate the customization required or dynamic data sets that you want to review. The new reporting tool, on the other hand, offers an entirely new experience. Navigating to the new reporting tool will immediately show you a dashboard that reveals instant insights into your workspace data. Each dashboard is populated with custom reports, analyzing your communities and allowing you to quickly and effectively make data-driven decisions. So, for example, on this dashboard here, we can easily analyze the different engagement actions that happen between particular campaigns. We can review multiple key engagement statistics and trends on the same chart. And then we can even review member statistics, like comparing engaged members with the total visits to your community or your work. Each tile that we see here is its own report, tracking its own unique data point, and these are completely customizable and can be manually created and filtered to see just the data that you want. And in a little bit, I'll show how we create one of those, and I'll walk through that entire process. So we know we can create custom reports and put them on these dashboards. Unlike our legacy reporting tool, this is not the only dashboard that you'll utilize. If you go up to the title of the dashboard here, clicking this will open a drop-down that will allow you to switch to a different dashboard easily. So I've clicked a new dashboard, I've switched to this one. By having multiple customizable dashboards, we can allow you to segment and review your data in any way that you want. So you might want to have different dashboards for different groups, for different campaigns, for different communities, for different pieces of data. You might want to have an ideas dashboard and a members dashboard. There are a bunch of different custom ways that you can visualize your data here and segment it so it's helpful for you immediately. Now, with multiple dashboards, you'll need a place to manage those. If we use this Manage Dashboards button in the top right, this will open a table where you can see all the dashboards that you have access to in your workspace. From here, you're able to easily edit, delete dashboards, or create a new one. And after we create our own report, we're going to walk through how to create a dashboard. So, as I mentioned previously, each dashboard can contain a custom selection of reports like we see here, and these you can manually add and organize on the dashboard. In order to better understand that process, I want us to walk through a report, see what that's like, and show you how to create one yourself. So to start, I'm going to go and click the Reports tab on the left here. This is going to open a table similar to the Manage Dashboards table that will show you all the reports you have access to. Here you can easily edit, delete, or add new reports. And for our use case, we're going to create a new report here. So that starts with adding a name and description. And before we even get into this report, let's set a goal for ourselves, because it's likely that when you're using the reporting tool, you go there with a specific goal. I want to review X piece of data. So for this report, let's say I'm really interested in viewing the amount of idea submissions that we've had, but I want it broken down by campaign. I want to see how many ideas have been submitted for each of my campaigns. So let's title our report Campaign Idea Submissions Demo. And then you can add a description here if you'd like. We don't need to for now. So I'm going to click Next. And once I click Next, I'm met with the report creation screen. So before you add any information, everything you need to know is on this left sidebar to customize a report. We have a couple different categories here that you'll have to select from, and I'll walk through what each of those mean. So to start, you will have to select a report type. The report type will be the visualization that you have for your report. So this could be a line chart, a bar chart, a dual axis chart, a donut chart. We have a couple different options here, but this is visually how your data will be displayed. I'm going to select a bar chart for now. Following that, you will have to select data category. The two categories we have available are ideas and members. These categories will determine the data that you have access to in this report and the filters that you have access to when you create it. Because we want to track ideas submitted, we're going to use the ideas category. Okay, next we have to select time frame. This will determine the time that you're tracking your data. So we have a couple of preset options here. You can also track on a custom range. Let's say you ran a campaign for a specific amount of time and you want to track just for that time range. You can select a custom time range here. We're going to select last 90 days just for ease. So now we get through those categories. We now have to select x-axis and y-axis variables. This is because we selected bar chart as a report type, so we need an x-axis and we need a y-axis. So the x-axis options we have go pretty deep. We start with time properties. So let's say I wanted to track by month. You can have this by month, by day, by week. But what we wanted to do going into this report is we wanted to track by campaign. So let's see if that's available. We can track multiple idea properties here. We can track stage. We can track groups in communities or workspace, but we want to track by campaign. So on the x-axis, I'm going to select campaign. Now for the y-axis, we wanted to track ideas submitted. That's the first data set available here. I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but we have plenty of idea data sets to sort through so you can best track your engagement within your communities. So let's select ideas submitted. And just because I like customizing it, let's select orange, which is one of my favorite colors. Shout out to the people from joining from the Netherlands. That's probably your favorite color too. Okay, so before I click create, what do we expect? Well, we put together a chart that should be a bar chart. It should track our data over the last 90 days. It should be grouped by campaign, and it should track the number of ideas submitted in each campaign. So now we click show results, and we can see that immediately we have a chart that is created that reflects exactly that. We have our campaigns on our x-axis. We have the number of ideas submitted per campaign on the y-axis, and that's represented in a bar chart. Before we move forward, let's go ahead and save these changes. Now we've successfully created a report. But looking at this report, I can easily realize that there are mainly 3 campaigns that have most of my activity. I actually want to filter down to view just these 3 campaigns. How can I do that? This is where we're going to open up our filter system. So I'm going to click this add filter button down here. Again, on the left sidebar, this is where all the customization will happen. I'm going to click add filter, and this is going to open up our custom filter menu. We created a totally complex filter system, which is going to allow you to drill down into your data to get really precise if you want. And if you don't, you can leave it broad and see holistic data as well. So what did we want to do here? We want to select, I only want to see these 3 campaigns on my report. So I'm going to go in here. There are a ton of filters that you can scroll through as seen by this bar. There's a ton of stuff. So I'm just going to search for campaign. Okay, campaign. What did we want? We want when the campaign equals these 3 here. That is AI control, that is internal product feedback, and that is product improvement ideas. I'm going to hit apply, and now we can see that my chart has updated and has been filtered down to just review this small amount of data, the more specific and precise amount of data that I wanted to look at. So let's save changes again to make sure this is saved, and voila, we now have this completely customized chart viewing only the data I wanted to see and filtered down to make it even more precise. So now that we have this report built, we are going to want to build our own dashboard using it. I want to review this data regularly, and I want to share this with people. So I'm going to put together a dashboard including this report, and let's walk through how to do that right now. So to start, we're going to have to go back, and we're going to have to go to the dashboard tab. Now, this is familiar. This is the dashboard we started on. We know we can change different dashboards from this menu here. But to create a new dashboard, we have an easy create dashboard button right here. Let's go ahead and click that. Again, we're going to start with a name. Let's do campaign idea submissions dash demo. Okay, again, we can write a description if we want. That's just to share additional information about what the dashboard's about. So when we click Save Changes, we now have a dashboard screen. This is the default screen when there are no reports added. I'm going to have to add some reports here to make this dashboard visible in the way I want to see it. So I'm going to click Add Reports. This is the list of reports that I have access to in the workspace, similar to the table that I showed. From here, I'm just going to select a couple of different report types that look different, just so we can see how they look. I've selected 5 reports here. I'm going to click Add Reports, and from here, this is now a dashboard that's been created with a couple different reports that I've just selected. But this is not exactly how I want to review my data. Visually, this isn't super helpful just yet. Well, there are 2 ways you can change that. One, you can drag and drop each report to easily customize the layout of your dashboards using this little button here. You can easily drag these around and place them anywhere you want on the screen. This is the chart we just created, so I'm going to put this in the top left. Then, if you want to make it bigger or smaller, you can easily drag and drop using this arrow in the bottom right. I want this chart to be bigger. I want to review it easily. I want it to be the first thing I see, so you can easily resize it like that. And you can do that for all of your charts. So let's say I want to make this one big too. This is important, and then these can be a little lesser. Now we have a completely customized dashboard. It has the report that I created and want to review. It's customized to be in the format that I want it, and each of these visuals can be tailored exactly how you want to review your data. We go ahead and save changes, and now this should look exactly like it did when we joined today with the default dashboard. This is my custom dashboard. It's viewing the data I want to see, and it's viewing it in the way I want to see it. Now, this data is only as helpful as it is understandable or shareable. So you might want to review this data with other people. How can we do that? Well, I want to talk quickly about sharing and exporting, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later as well. If you want to share or export any of this information, it's not available in the beta today, but we're still building it in. You will be able to export this information to Excel or CSV. You will be able to export this information in a PDF that is both reports and dashboard. And you will be able to schedule email reports to send automatically, which will include a live link to the data and a PDF. So you can select a manually selected list of recipients, and you can send this information to them on an automatic cadence to review whenever they get it. So those are some easy ways that we want to make it possible to share this information and export it so that you can review it with your team. And again, hopefully make this data as actionable as possible. Okay, that was a pretty comprehensive overview of the features that we're releasing with reporting. Given that, I want to do some quick takeaways. I know that was a lot of information. Cassandra, I'm going to hand you the screen share back. I want to discuss quickly some takeaways that we have from that overview, just given it was a lot of information. Okay, what are our key takeaways from that presentation? To summarize, this reporting system ensures that you can get the insights that you need exactly how you need them. Starting, you can build custom reports and dashboards that are tailored to your data needs. Secondly, you can analyze any data set that we have with complex filters, giving you precise insights to analyze your work. Thirdly, we give you complete customization over report data, the visual representation of those reports, and the layout of the reports on that dashboard. Again, going back to our initial challenges, we want to give you information in a way that is very helpful for you to see, that is easy to put together, and is easy to analyze. 2 more things I want to mention that I didn't talk about in the demo, but are important to know as key takeaways. I talked about exporting a little bit, but I didn't discuss our existing exports. The workspace and community exports will not be disappearing with this project. They will be moving, however. You don't see them on the page. They're going to be moving to the data management tab in your settings. Access should be the same. The exports will be the same. They're not going away. They just won't be in reporting. Additionally, it's very important to know that I didn't really talk about this being in beta very much, but this tool is in beta as we're still developing it. But when we do the production launch, we will plan to remove or deprecate the existing legacy reporting tool that I opened this call looking at. That tool will remain available until we do the transition. That is initially planned for May 15th, but that date may move back. It will be no sooner than then. And we'll obviously keep you very updated on when exactly that will happen. Those are our key takeaways for today. Now I want to look ahead briefly before we get into the Q&A section and talk a little bit about what we're planning on our roadmap. So if you want to go to the next slide, Cassandra. Some projects that we're planning on our roadmap, and this is not everything, this is just what I think is helpful to highlight today. Starting with Microsoft Teams, we're building a brand new Microsoft Teams integration that we're hoping to release in the coming months. This integration is totally rebuilt and is focused on end user engagement and is going to completely transform how users can engage with Teams within IdeaScale, or within IdeaScale with Teams, I should say. Following that, we're working on an admin panel project. This admin panel is a complete rebuild of our admin experience, focusing on the workspace and community settings and everything that goes into them. And then additionally, looking into the campaign setup and management experience. That's going to be really exciting and should be a huge experiential upgrade for all of our apps. Following that, we're also developing a version 2 of IdeaScale AI. This is going to have new tools that are built onto our AI stack, and this is going to help supercharge both your qualitative and your quantitative workspace analysis. So that should be really exciting. And last but not least, we are exploring portfolio project management, or PPM. We're in the early stages of developing an IdeaScale specific project management system. This would allow you to streamline the implementation process of your ideas directly in IdeaScale. That's a really exciting enhancement and should add a lot of value to our product and something I'm really excited to be working on. Okay, now that we've discussed a bit of our product roadmap, we're going to begin closing out the call by doing a Q&A session. So I have some questions here, and I'm going to start going through these, and hopefully these can be helpful for you all. So first question we have is about data accuracy. How does the accuracy of the data compare between the new and the legacy reporting tools? Okay, this is a great question, and it highlights something important that everyone should know about the new reporting tool. So I mentioned the May 15th date. Up through that date, or whenever the launch date is, the new reporting tool is still in beta. So what does that mean? Being in beta means that we are still refreshing the data, we are still adding features, and we're still updating and finding bugs that we may encounter along the way. So that means that the data you see in the new reporting tool may not always be 100% accurate to your workspace. We're working hard to ensure that there's full accuracy for the launch, but no need to fear. This is all part of the process and part of the beta release. We wanted to release a beta for this project so everyone could get involved with the latest development, and rest assured that any data discrepancies would be corrected for launch. Okay, I mentioned a little bit about sharing and access in the demo, and we have a question here on how different roles gain access to the data in the new reporting tool, and which roles have access, period. Given that this tool is said to be much more open, this is a great question. I'll start with who has access at all. Access to the new reporting tool should be exactly the same as access to the legacy reporting tool. So that's all privileged users aside from translation moderators. That is campaign, community, and workspace admins or moderators. They'll all have access to the data that is comparable with their level of access in the software. So for this project, in order to enable sharing and enable the access to data within these roles, we've created a special role-based access control scheme that ensures that no data leaks outside of the roles. I mentioned briefly just then about having access comparable to your level of access in the software. This is what that means. So each person, no matter what report or dashboard they're looking at, will only have data access to the data that they have privilege to see. So let's use an example. Let's say Reshma is a community admin, and she creates a report for all the ideas submitted throughout a community. And she shares that report with me. I, however, am a campaign admin. So I might have a lesser level of data access than she does. When I open that report, even though it's created by her for all the ideas in the community, I'm only going to see the ideas submitted within my campaign. So for all roles, there's essentially like a background filter applied that means they only have access to the data that they are privileged to see. So our reason for this approach is we want to create the ability to share information within the reporting context, but we want to ensure that there's no leaks in data between roles or between privileged users. If you're seeing different things, then there might be a way that you can filter down the charts, but I'll get into that in just a second. Okay, a similar question, I think off the back of that one, is can the reporting tool be shared with IdeaScale members or people without IdeaScale accounts? I'm talking about exporting and I'm talking about sharing. And so does that apply to regular members or does that apply to people without accounts? The answer simply is no. The reporting tool itself within the software is only shared with the people who have access. Through, like I said before, the email sharing or the exporting, however, you can share PDFs or Excel files of your findings outside of IdeaScale. So you will still be able to share that information as you wish with exports, but not the live link to the data. You have to have a privileged user seat to view that. Okay, I mentioned in the key takeaways, I have a quick question here about when the legacy reporting tool will go away. It's probably important that we mention this again. We are planning to remove the legacy reporting tool on May 15th, but it could happen later than that. It will not happen any earlier than that. And that's just over a month from today. So for anyone that's curious, the legacy reporting tool refers to the Engage and Outcomes dashboard that I showed at the beginning of the call, and the accompanying tabs and tools that go along with them. The exports, as I said before, will not be being removed. They will move to the data management tabs in workspace and community settings. So those will still remain accessible. Okay, a feature-related question. Are we able to track ROI in the new reporting tool? This is a really helpful question and something that we're really excited about with the new reporting tool is the ability to track ROI of ideas, campaigns, and communities within the software. We are planning that feature, but it won't be available until the phase 2 release of reporting. We're still planning the timeline for that. The development should begin after this phase 1 release happens, but rest assured it is on the way. It will be available in reporting, just not at this first release. So that's something we're really excited about. Another question about sharing. People are asking if they can schedule reports to be shared or exported automatically. This is a key piece of customer feedback that we received when planning this project and is a feature that we've planned in. I mentioned it briefly in the demo. You'll be able to schedule reports, and what this means is you'll be able to go in and you'll be able to select a report or select a dashboard, and you'll be able to schedule send an email, and that could be a one-time email or that could be a recurring cadence. And that email will send to a manually selected list of recipients, and they will receive a live link to the dashboard and a PDF of the data in that cadence. So what that means is essentially, to answer the question, yes, you will be able to automatically essentially automate how you're sharing or exporting this information to a select number of people. Those could be your team, those could be people externally that are interested, or anyone you want to send to. Okay, another data-related question. Will the new reporting tool have access to historical data, or will it start tracking data from the release? This is a good question. The new reporting tool is planned to have the same access to data that you currently leverage with the legacy reporting tool. So in short, yes, it will have access to historical data. If you don't see that data now, that's okay. It is a consequence of the beta, as previously mentioned, and all those discrepancies should be ironed out for the release. Okay, another question is about pre-built templates. Are there any pre-built templates that I can use? I talked a lot today about building your own templates, but you might want to go into the reporting tool and leverage some existing data sets and information to analyze your community. That will be possible. We are launching the new reporting tool with 3 system-generated dashboards that your team can leverage. Those dashboards hold over a dozen pre-built reports that can be used as examples for your team or can be leveraged independently to analyze your community data. To brief those dashboards, one is a close replica of the existing legacy dashboard, and then the other 2 are measurements of engagement throughout your community and campaign comparisons. So those should be more attuned to what is possible in the new tool. And again, be good examples of reports and dashboards that you can leverage to analyze your data. So there will be some information that is sent, that is system generated at the release that you can use to analyze your community. Finally, this is a question to know for maybe the future, but you may end up seeing errors on reports in your dashboard or different data from your peers. It's important that we just highlight that this is possible and why that might be the case. So firstly, if you're seeing different data than your peers, it's because you probably have different roles within the platform and are therefore able to access different amounts of data. As I mentioned in the example earlier with Reshma, if you have a different role than the person who created the report, you might see a different set of information. And this goes for people viewing reports as well. So if this is a concern, I would always recommend that you filter down your report to be as specific and accurate as possible. This can ensure that the data is consistent across anyone who can view that report. And if you want to leave it more broad, that's okay too. You just have to realize that different roles might see different information there. Okay, speaking of errors, there are two potential errors you could get in the reporting tool. There's a warning and a data error. The warning is essentially to tell you that that you have filters applied, basically telling you that you're not viewing just the raw data, you're viewing filtered data, but that filtered data is still correct. It's basically just a heads up that you have filters applied. The warning, however, is if there are filters that are in direct conflict, or I should say that the data error, however, is when there are filters in direct conflict. So this might be when no data can be pulled or no data is accessible for that report. You might get an error that says you need to correct the filters either on the report or the dashboard to show that information correctly. Okay, I know we got to a lot of the questions today, and that is all that I have planned. Cassandra, I'm gonna throw it back to you. Actually, before I do, I had one or two things that I wanted to mention, but that should be the end of the Q&A section. If anyone has questions that we didn't get to, that's totally okay. We will be following up with additional information for everyone so that anyone can review, so that we can review those questions and get good answers back to you. Okay, quickly before I pass it back to you, Cassandra, I want to talk about IdeaScale quickly. For the new reporting beta, or for any other feature considerations, if you want to just jump to the next slide. For the new reporting beta, or for any other feature considerations, we'd love to hear from everyone on ideas.IdeaScale. This is a great place to post suggestions, to interact with the rest of the IdeaScale community, and interface directly with Reshma and I on any product suggestions. So I please encourage everyone to get involved there, as we'd love to hear from you, and we're always welcome to hear any of your suggestions. And then additionally, and particularly for anyone that's new here, I want to quickly mention that we recently released an ROI calculator. This is available on our website. This is a quick and easy way to calculate what it would take for IdeaScale to be profitable for your organization. So if you're new, if you're an existing customer, I suggest that everyone go take a look here, as it's really easy and informative, and is an easy way to show how valuable IdeaScale could be or already is for you. I see Cassandra just put the link in the chat, and again, it's available on our website if anyone's interested in checking. That's all I had to share. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining and listening. I really appreciate your time, and I'm going to pass it back to Cassandra.
Thank you, Paul, for this great presentation. These insights were incredibly helpful for everyone. And thank you, Reshma, as well, for jumping in to answer questions and sharing your expertise throughout the session. Thank you, all of you, for joining us today. We hope you found this session valuable and that you're excited as well about the new reporting tool. And before we wrapped up, we're proud to share that IdeaScale was recently recognized with the 2025 Customer Success Award as a market leader, and also named a Gartner Peer Insights Customer's Choice for 2024. So these honors reflect the trust and satisfaction of the people who matter the most, our users. And if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We'll be sending a follow-up email with the full Q&A and the recording of the webinar for your reference. And thanks again, and hope you have a great day.